Hello dear students, how are you? I hope you all are doing very well. Continuing the series of electrostatics part 2, where we are discussing the concepts of potential due to varying cases. Already I have discussed the case of potential due to a point charge, due to a ring and dipole. In today's session, I am going to continue the same, and the new case would be potential due to a charged sphere followed by potential due to concentric shells. So let us continue with potential due to charged spheres. If you see spheres, already in electric field also I have discussed that spheres we are dividing into two cases. Spheres we are dividing into two cases. We can call them as hollow spheres and solid spheres. Hollow spheres and solid. Hollow means inside there is nothing. Whatever charge is there, that will be distributed only on the surface of this. Whereas solid sphere means that it is filled with material. It is filled with the substance. It is filled with the material. In hollow also again there are two types. One is hollow conducting and hollow non-conducting. Hollow conducting and hollow non-conducting. Conducting you can also call it as metallic. Whereas non-conducting, the other name given is insulating, or you can also call it as dielectric material. Whereas solid also further we can divide into two cases. We can again call them as conducting and solid non-conducting. So these are the basically four types of spheres: hollow and solid. In hollow, conducting or non-conducting. Again in solid also conducting and non-conducting, means the material of your sphere is conducting or non-conducting. Now as far as this hollow conducting, hollow non-conducting and solid conducting is concerned, that is, in case of hollow conducting, hollow non-conducting and solid conducting, hollow conducting, hollow non-conducting and solid conducting, the charge always resides on the outer surface. The charge always resides on the outer surface. When we inject a charge to this sphere, suppose we are injecting the charge means suppose we are giving the charge to this sphere, then the charge will accumulate automatically on the outer surface of the sphere. Charge will not stay inside the sphere, but it will always accommodate itself only on the outer surface of the, it will distribute on the outer surface of the sphere. As far as your hollow conducting, hollow non-conducting, in hollow to anyways because charge cannot stay inside, but in solid conducting also, if we are giving a charge to this body, automatically it will appear on the outer surface. Whereas in case of solid non-conducting, the charge gets distributed throughout the volume. Charge gets distributed throughout the volume. In the entire volume of your solid non-conducting, the charge will get distributed like this. So to discuss it further, I am breaking it into two cases. These four types of spheres we are breaking into two cases. One is hollow conducting, hollow non-conducting and solid conducting, and then we will discuss the case of solid non-conducting. If you remember, if you have seen my videos on electric field, that is electrostatics part 1, there also I had discussed the electric field due to these spheres in the same manner. And we have to be careful while reading the questions also which specific type of sphere it is, because formulas are different as far as solid non-conducting and hollow conducting, hollow non-conducting and solid conducting is concerned. So I hope this case is clear to you. So first we are going to discuss the potential due to this hollow conducting, non-conducting and solid conducting, and then we will move to this case. So note it down and then we will discuss the case of potential due to this. So let us discuss the case of potential due to hollow conducting, hollow non-conducting or solid conducting spheres. Potential due to hollow conducting, hollow non-conducting and solid conducting spheres. So let us start here. In this also I am going to take three cases. First is R greater than R, that is outside case. Second case would be R is equals to R, that is on the surface, potential on the surface of sphere. And the third case would be R is less than R, which is inside the sphere. I hope you are clear. If you remember, the same way we had discussed electric field also. Outside we got the result, in electric field, if you remember, outside we got the result kq by r square. On the surface we got kq by capital R the square, where capital R was the radius of the sphere, and inside, in that case we got 0, because since no charge was accumulated inside, and hence as per your Gauss theorem, electric field was also 0. Now let us see here one by one. So first we are discussing the case of outside. So let us say this is your sphere. It may be your hollow conducting, hollow non-conducting or solid conducting. Let us say this contains charge q. This charge q is distributed uniformly on the surface of the sphere. Let us say the radius r of the r is the radius of the sphere. So we are taking the case of outside, yani case 1. R is greater than R. Yani let us say at this some specific point P, this is your R. This is your R. At this point P, we need to discuss the potential due to this charge sphere. So due to a point charge, you know the formula kq by R. That is the formula due to a point charge. If I just revise the formulas, due to a point charge, your formula is kq by R. Due to a ring also, in previous session we have discussed, that was kq upon under root r square plus x square, where r was the radius of the ring. And similarly, due to a dipole also we had discussed, in case of dipole, at the axial position potential was kp by x square, and at the equatorial position it was 0. So those cases already we have discussed, and we know potential is a scalar quantity. Now let us see how to derive the case for the sphere at an outside point P. So basically, if you see my sessions on potential difference, then there I have discussed the potential difference concept, that is V1 minus V2. V1 minus V2, potential difference, is nothing but work done by an external force to bring a charge from point 2 to point 1 divided by q. This concept already we have discussed, and apart from that I also discussed that delta V is equals to minus E dot dr. Delta V is equals to minus E dot dr. These two cases already I have discussed. For this you can watch my sessions on potential difference and relationship between electric field and potential, because today we are going to use these relationships. So to calculate the potential difference, or to calculate the potential at this point P, what we are going to do is we are going to bring, let us say this is infinite. We are going to bring a charge from infinite to this point P. We are going to bring a charge from infinite to point P, and we will calculate the potential difference. So we know Vp minus V infinity. Vp minus V infinity. Why? Because this is the initial potential, because initially small charge q is kept here, and this is the final point. So Vp, I am writing Vp minus V infinity is equals to minus integral E dot dr. Minus integral E dot dr. Why I am writing this? Observe here, this is the potential difference, and there is a relationship between electric field and potential difference. So Vp minus V infinity equals to minus E dot dr. What is the initial point? Initial point is infinity, and what is the final point? Final point is your R. This is your origin. This you can assume as origin. So final point is basically your R vector, and initial point is at infinity. Now remember the case of electric field. What is the electric field at a point P outside the sphere? Remember the cases of electric field? It was K Q by R square. K Q by R square. So when I substitute here minus infinity to R, electric field is how much? K Q by R square dot dr. So can I write into dr cos 0? Why? Because the direction of electric field is also this. See, due to this entire surface at this point, electric field will be in this direction, and your dr vector from here to here is also in the same direction. So cos 0, and cos 0 is how much? 1. Cos 0 is 1. So we have to integrate this basically. Acha, what is V infinity? V infinity is 0. Why? Because this was the assumption we had taken, that potential at infinity is to be always assumed as 0, and potential energy also at infinity is to be assumed as 0. So I am writing Vp is equals to, from here K is constant, Q is constant. So I am taking KQ out. So we get integral 1 by R square dr from infinity to R, and here is a minus sign. Now dear students, you know the integration of x power n dx. What is integration of x power n dx? Integration of x power n dx is x power n plus 1 upon n plus 1. Integral of x power n is x power n plus 1 upon n plus 1. So this 1 by r square, what is 1 by r square? 1 by r square is r to the power minus 2 dr. So I am writing the integration r to the power minus 2. So r to the power minus 2 plus 1 upon minus 2 plus 1. So that will become how much? Minus of 1 by r. So minus minus plus it will become minus will cancel, will become plus, because already minus was there, and this integration will become minus 1 by r. So it became plus. We need to substitute the limits from infinity to r. So Vp becomes how much? Kq. Upper limit 1 by r minus 1 by infinity is how much? 0. So how much we get? Vp we get is how much? Kq by r. Vp is how much? Kq by r. We got the formula. Potential at the point is how much? Kq by r. So don't you think that this formula and this formula are similar? So can I write like this? Can I write that outside point behaves as if sphere was a point charge. Outside point is behaving as if sphere was a point charge. If the sphere would have been a point charge, then what would have been the potential here? Kq by small r. And the same formula we are getting, Kq by small r. So the potential due to the outside point is Kq by r. Now this formula always I have to remember, Kq by r. That is due to an outside point. So I hope it is clear to you. Once again, let me tell you what I have done. Why I have done this? Because I already knew the electric field at a point P outside. Try to understand. Already I have derived the electric field at a point P outside using Gaussian theorem. For that you can watch my videos on electrostatics part 1, how to find the electric field due to spheres. So electric field due to a sphere at a point outside is Kq by r square. That relationship I already knew. Using that relationship I have found the potential difference, and this is the relationship between potential difference and electric field. This also I have derived in the segment. The session name is relation between electric field and potential. Those who are not knowing this relationship can watch my video on that. So Vp minus V infinity. Why? Because we are bringing a charge from infinity to point P. So Vp minus V infinity is equals to minus infinity to r E dot dr. Electric field outside is Kq by r square. So that is the electric field direction. Dr direction is also same. So dr cos 0 is 1. And then we have used simple integration, substitution of limits, and we got the formula Kq by r. I hope it's very much clear to you. You note it down, and then I will move to the next case. Next case here itself I can discuss. Next case is what? R is equals to r. It means that the point P will lie on the surface of the sphere. The point P will lie on the surface of the sphere. So here itself I can say, if this small r replaced by capital R, if I replace the small r by capital R, then I get Vp is equals to kq by capital R. This is the formula for the surface. So formula for outside is kq by small r, and the formula of potential at the surface is kq by capital R. I hope it is clear to you. Note it down. Let us continue to the next case. So now we need to discuss the potential at a point P inside point. So already we have discussed that this is your sphere. It may be hollow conducting, hollow non-conducting and solid conducting. Whenever we give a charge to this sphere, the charge gets distributed only on the surface of the sphere. Now we need to discuss, let us say this is your center of sphere, somewhere at this point P, and this distance is r. Obviously capital R is the radius of the sphere. So for case 1 already we have discussed, that is V outside, that was kq by small r, and case 2 also we have discussed, that is V on the surface of sphere, which is basically kq by capital R, kq by capital R. Now we need to discuss the case due to inside point. So again I am going to write the potential difference delta V, which is minus E dot dr. This is the relationship between potential difference and electric field. So now this delta V, what I am going to do is I am going to select a small point inside the sphere, or you can say on the sphere, just inside. Try to understand, 2 points I have to select. To calculate potential difference, 2 points I have to select. First point is already at P. Now second point I am selecting here, just inside. Now you may ask me why I am doing like this, why I am not choosing the second point at infinity. In the previous case I have taken the second point as infinity, first point at P and second point at infinity, but in this case I will not do the same, because try to understand, here we are making use of integrations, which is a branch of your mathematics, and the function in the integrand or the integrand should be a constant function. Constant function in the sense that it should not be a variable function. What I am trying to say is that when you are coming from, see what is the integrand here? Electric field is the integrand. Integrand means the function whose integration we are carrying out. So here the electric field from outside to on the surface is constant, which is how much? That is kq by small r square, means function is same. Constant here means it's not a constant function. Function is same. So that is how much? kq by small r square. At the surface, the electric field becomes how much? kq by capital R square. And just inside, the electric field becomes 0, because inside this type of sphere, electric field is how much? 0. So the function, the electric field function itself is changing actually. Now that should not happen as far as you are doing integration, or in that case then you have to change the limits. So we are not going to do like that. Instead what we are going to do is, instead of choosing the second point at infinity, I am going to choose the second point just inside the circumference of this sphere, just inside, so that that point behaves similarly to be on the surface. So I am writing Vp minus Vs, Vp minus Vs, let me call this point as S, Vp minus Vs minus. Now tell me, what is the electric field at a point inside the sphere, just inside the sphere? What is the electric field? 0, yes or no? Electric field at a point inside the sphere is how much? 0. Remember in the previous case we have written this formula for outside the field. Now we are writing inside, so just inside electric field is how much? 0, because charge does not reside inside the sphere, and if charge does not reside inside the sphere, then electric field becomes how much? 0. So this entire thing becomes what? 0. So Vp becomes equals to what? Vs, so that the difference will become 0. But we know what is Vs. Vs is how much? Already we have seen kq by r. So Vp also becomes kq by r. So at any point P inside, potential becomes kq by capital R. So what I can say is that from the center of the sphere to the surface of the sphere, potential is constant, and that is kq by capital R, and then from surface to outside the formula becomes kq by small r, depends on the distance. And if I have to plot a graph between potential and your distance, let us say this is r equals to capital R. So you know, from the center to the sphere, I mean surface of the sphere, the potential will become how much? kq by capital R, because it is constant, r is constant. Whether you are calculating potential here, here or here, at every point potential will be same. So this potential will behave as a constant, which is your kq by capital R, and after that it is inversely proportional to 1 by r. V is proportional to 1 by r, or you can say inversely proportional to r. So the formula would be, or the graph would go like this, because this is proportional to 1 by r. So that is as far as your graph between potential and radial distance is concerned. I hope it is clear to you. For a point outside, kq by small r, where r is the distance of the point P from the center of the sphere, distance is from the center of the sphere. As far as your on the surface point is concerned, it is kq by capital R, and inside potential is constant, because this electric field became 0, so Vp minus Vs is 0, so Vp should become same as Vs, and we know Vs is kq by capital R, so Vp also became kq by capital R. So that is your result for the inside point. So inside at every point of hollow conducting, hollow non-conducting and solid conducting sphere, potential is constant, and which is kq by capital R. I hope this concept is clear to you. Note it down, and I move to the next case after this, which is solid non-conducting spheres. Note it down. So now let us discuss the case of solid non-conducting spheres, that is potential due to solid non-conducting sphere. It is also known as insulating sphere, or you may also call it as dielectric. Solid non-conducting sphere. Again, here also three cases would be there. Case number 1, r greater than r, that is outside point. Case number 2 will be r is equals to r, that is your inside, I mean on the surface, and third point would be r less than r, which is inside the surface of the sphere. Now solid non-conducting, it means that charge resides throughout the volume of the solid. That is, suppose if we are giving, let us say this is your solid, if we are giving a charge to it, if we are injecting a charge to this sphere, since it is solid non-conducting, the charge will get distributed throughout the body. Of course, here what we are taking is uniformly charged sphere. This is uniformly charged sphere. Uniformly charged sphere. We are not taking non-uniform charged sphere. Here whatever charge q we are giving, that gets distributed throughout the volume. That is, here rho, which is your volume charge density, is constant. This rho is constant. What is rho? Volume charge density. So that is your q by v. So now let us discuss the case here at a point P outside. Case 1, r greater than r, outside point. So let us say at this point we need to discuss. Assume the radius r of the sphere. This distance from the center we can assume to be small r. That's why I am saying r greater than r. So again here also we are going to use the relationship between your potential difference and electric field, which is delta V is equals to minus integral E dot dr. So let us say that we are bringing a charge, small charge q from infinity to P. So I write Vp minus V infinity is equals to minus. Remember the electric field due to a solid non-conducting sphere outside, the formula was what? Kq by r square, Kq by small r the square. You must remember all these formulas. Electric field, see, you need to have a summary, overall summary, due to a ring, due to a point charge, due to a dipole, due to infinite line charge, due to infinite sheet, plane sheet, I mean your thick sheet, thin sheet, then spheres, hollow conducting, hollow non-conducting, solid conducting and solid non-conducting. Excuse me. So the entire list must be there with you. So for a point P outside, the electric field is basically kq by small r square dr, and the electric field is in this direction and dr direction is also in the same. So I'll write cos 0, and cos 0 is how much? 1. So cos 0 is 1 only from infinity to r. Now we know V infinity is how much? 0. So Vp becomes what? Kq will come out. Integration of 1 by r square is r to the power minus 1. Minus minus becomes r. And when you substitute the limits from infinity to r, why I am substituting the lower limit as infinity? Because that is my initial limit. Because I am bringing the small charge q from infinity to the point P. Final point is your P. So what we get is kq by small r. So that is your potential at a outside point. So Vp is kq by small r. So as far as this formula is concerned, there is no difference between hollow conducting or this particular, I mean in case 1 and case 2, there is no such difference, because there also we got the same formula, and here also the formula is same, kq by small r. It means what? For an outside point, the solid non-conducting sphere behaves like a point charge. Because what is the formula for a point charge? What is the formula of potential for a point charge? kq by small r, and here also we are getting the same. So I would say that there is no difference whether it is hollow or solid, whether it is conducting, non-conducting, because this formula is same for an outside point. Similarly, we can discuss on the surface also. So that would be r is equals to r. So instead of this small r, we can substitute capital R, because from infinity directly we will go to this point. So the formula will become what? kq by capital R. I hope it is clear to you. Now the only case remaining is inside the sphere. So let us do one thing. You note it down and then I move to that next case. Okay. So let us continue the case of inside the sphere. So again we are taking the same thing, which is potential due to a solid non-conducting sphere. Potential due to a solid non-conducting sphere. But this case is case 3, which is inside point. I mean say inside the sphere. So outside the sphere already I have shown you. V outside I can say is kq by small r, and V on the surface of sphere, that would become kq by capital R. So this result we have already derived and you must know both of them. So let us see inside what story takes place inside the sphere. So this is a sphere and we are giving a positive charge q to the sphere. As we know, the charge gets distributed uniformly throughout the volume of the sphere, and we can define your volume charge density to be entire charge q upon volume of the sphere. So that will become q upon 4 by 3 pi capital R the cube, where capital R is the radius of the sphere. This is the volume of the sphere, 4 by 3 pi r cube. So again we are going to make use of the same case only. Let me select a point. Let us say this is the point P at which we are going to find the potential, and this distance from the center is r. So we know that change in potential difference, delta V, the change in potential difference, your delta V is basically minus integral E dot dr. Delta V is minus integral E dot dr. This is the relationship between potential and electric field. So what I may say here is that Vp minus, now again let me say this is the final point. Let me select a initial point which is just inside the surface. Again, why I am not selecting the second point at infinity? Because from infinity to the surface, the function of electric field will be kq, kq by small r the square, and the moment we go inside the surface of the sphere, then the electric field becomes what? Electric field inside the surface E in is rho r by 3 epsilon. You must remember this formula because this is solid non-conducting. This time we cannot say that E inside is 0. E inside is 0 only if there is no charge inside. But here charge will be accumulated inside also. So the formula for solid non-conducting sphere for the inside point, that is your electric field inside the sphere, is rho r by 3 epsilon. Why I am saying epsilon? Because the inside material is filled with some dielectric whose dielectric constant is epsilon. So E in is rho r by 3 epsilon. Rho means this volume charge density. So Vp minus, I am selecting the second point as Vs because I am not selecting it an infinity, because from infinity to the surface the formula for electric field is kq by small r the square, and the moment we go inside the surface the formula for electric field becomes rho r by 3 epsilon. It means the same integrand is not being followed. So inside the integration the function, whatever electric field function will go, that is not same. Since it is not identical, I am not using the second point as infinity. So this is something you must take care, that your integrand must be a one function only, it should not be a different functions. So the second point I am just selecting little inside the sphere and I am calling that point as S. I am saying Vp minus Vs minus. Now inside the sphere what is the electric field? Rho r by 3 epsilon. Dr of course cos 0, because electric field direction is this and dr direction is also the same. So cos 0 is again 1. From where to where? Obviously from distance capital R. Why capital R? Because at S what is the distance? Capital R to the final distance which is small r. This is your initial limit. Why capital R? Because the point S is at a distance of capital R from the center of the sphere, whereas point P is at a distance of small r from the center of the sphere. So I might write like this now, Vp minus Vs is equals to, now rho, if you remember, rho is this q by 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now this entire term is a constant term, so that will come out of the integration. I can say q by 4 by 3, so 3 I am taking it here by 4 pi r cube into this 3 epsilon is also a constant, so that comes out of your integration terms. Integral r dr from capital R to small r, and this minus sign is retained as it is. So Vp minus Vs, I may say like this 3 and 3 cancels, minus q by 4 pi epsilon r cube, 4 pi epsilon r cube. Now dear students, what is the integration of r? Obviously it is r square by 2. Why? Because integral x dx is what? X square by 2. So integration of r is r square by 2, capital R to small r. So I am substituting everything. I am writing Vp minus Vs is equals to minus q by 4 pi epsilon r cube. Small r the square upper limit minus the lower limit. Since outside minus sign is there, so I will write it like this, r square by 2 minus r square by 2. I hope you understood. Actually it is small r square by 2 minus capital R square by 2, but outside one minus sign is there. So that is your formula. Now Vp is equals to this, Vs will come there, and what is the formula for Vs? V surface. V surface is how much? Kq by capital R. So I am substituting that way. K again is what? 1 by 4 pi epsilon. Even this I can also substitute as K. K is 1 by 4 pi epsilon not, but here your epsilon is there. So let me assume that itself as K. So this itself I will write as K. So that will become Kq by R, because this term came here, which is Kq by R plus Kq by R cube, R square by 2 minus small r square by 2. So this is what we have got. So let me just simplify it. You can note it down so that I simplify this term for you. Yeah, so I am simplifying it. So Vp becomes Kq by R plus. So when I multiply it, it becomes what? R square and R cube. So it will become KQ by 2R. KQ by 2R minus KQ by R cube into R square by 2. So VP. LCM is how much? 2R and 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3 KQ minus KQ R square by R cube 2. So VP can be written this 3, KQ we can take common, or KQ by R itself I can take common, 3 by 2 minus R square by capital R square 2, or I might write 2 R square. This is the formula for the inside point. I know this is a complicated formula, you need not remember it, but you must know how to derive it. What you must know is how to derive. This question has appeared already in your advanced, JEE advanced. These derivations you will not find in your school textbooks also. These particular derivations for spheres you may not find in your school textbooks also. So, but you have to, but these all have been asked in the form of problems in your competitive exams, in your mains, NEET and advanced. So this is the formula for inside point. Now if you see carefully, here instead of small r, if I substitute capital R, then I must get the formula for the surface. So let me just try. KQ by R, 3 by 2 minus, this becomes capital R the square. So now capital R the square and square, it becomes 1 by 2. And 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2 is how much? 1. So what you get is KQ by R. We got the formula for the surface. Observe here. Suppose you want to find the potential at the center of the sphere. At the center of the sphere, this small r should be substituted as 0. So when you substitute the small r as 0, what you are remaining is only this term. It becomes 3 by 2 KQ by R. 3 by 2 KQ by R. So I have shown you everything. I have shown you the potential inside, potential on the surface, potential at the center, potential outside already we have derived. So these are all the results shown to you, and you must remember them. You must remember these concepts, how I am deriving them, and based on that, directly these themselves may be asked as problems. I hope it is clear to you, and what I will do is I will just give a graph for this, exactly how the graph will be there between potential and your distance small r, and you can note it down. So summarizing everything for you, there was a case of hollow conducting, hollow non-conducting and solid conducting. Here we have to write outside point, on the surface and your inside. Similarly, there was a case of your solid non-conducting. So for outside point, that is your r greater than capital R, small r greater than capital R, the result was KQ by small r. Here also the result was same, KQ by small r. This is as far as potential is concerned. Similarly, I gave you a list for electric field also, that you can revise in the concepts of electric field due to spheres. As far as your surface is concerned, the formula becomes KQ by capital R, and here also KQ by capital R. So as far as this is concerned, outside and surface, the result is same. The result changes only for the inside point. Now inside here potential is same only, which is KQ by R, because electric field was 0 inside. So potential remains constant, KQ by R. But here there is an electric field which is rho r by 3 epsilon. So the inside formula becomes KQ by capital R, 3 by 2 minus R square by 2R the square. And if you want to write the potential at the center, so you have to substitute R equals to 0, entire terms gets cancelled, become 3 by 2 KQ by R. Now if you see, this is the maximum potential for a solid non-conducting sphere. As far as graphs are concerned, for this potential and distance already I have drawn. Once again I can give. So inside point from the center to the radius R, field is, your potential is same, KQ by R, which is this, and after that it is inversely proportional to R. So this is the graph. As far as your solid non-conducting is concerned, this is your R equals to, I may say here is R equals to 0, R equals to capital R, and of course your R. Now here at the center, your potential is the maximum because it is 1.5 times kq by r. At the surface it is only 1 times kq by r, here it is 1.5 times, so this is the maximum. So your potential decreases, and here it is proportional to minus r square. So potential proportional to r square, it means parabolic function, minus means downward parabola. So the potential decreases like this, like a downward parabola, and then after that it is inversely proportional to r, like this. So this is the graph. Here it is, you are having maximum potential 3 by 2 kq by r, and here at r equals to r it is kq by r. I hope all the graphs are clear to you. Very important graphs, highly important for your NEET and JEE. So this is the story of your spheres, different types of spheres for inside and outside points. So I hope it is clear to you. You can note it down, and let us take some problems after this. Note it down. So let us continue with this question. What is given here is, two concentric spherical shells have uniform charge distribution, q1 for radius r1, q2 for radius r2. Concentric spherical shells are there, it means their center is common. So this is your first sphere. This is a hollow actually, that's why they are saying concentric spherical shell. Shell means hollow. So here your charge distributed on the first sphere is q1 and its radius is r1, whereas charge distributed on second sphere is q2 and its radius is r2. q1, q2, r1, r2. So we need to find the potential at point A. Point A. So if you remember, I'll just revise the formulas for your hollow conducting or hollow non-conducting spheres, because these are hollow only. So for outside point, the potential was kq by small r. For surface, the potential was kq by capital R, and for inside point, the potential is kq by capital R only. I mean inside and surface it is constant. R is the radius of that sphere. So let us see here. So option A, I mean your case A, at point A. At point A means it is the center. So at point A, potential at point A will be because of sphere 1 plus because of sphere 2, because potential is a scalar quantity, and we have to simply add the two potentials to get the potential at point A. So potential at A will be because of sphere 1, potential due to sphere 1 plus potential due to sphere 2. So I would say that potential due to sphere 1, so it is at the center of the sphere, means the inside point. Inside, what is the formula? So I will say kq1 by r1 plus. Now this center is also the center of sphere 2, so again for sphere 2 also it is at the center. So we will apply the formula for the same, so that will become kq2 by r2. I hope it is clear to you. Observe once again, we need to find the potential at point A. Point A is the center of sphere 1 as well as the center of sphere 2. So we are writing the inside point formula for sphere 1. So kq1 by r1. Charge of that sphere, radius of that sphere. Similarly, the point A is also the center of sphere 2. So kq2 by r2. I hope it is clear. B. At point B, potential at point B. Again, at point B is acting as a surface point for sphere 1 and inside point for sphere 2. For sphere 1 it is the surface point, and for sphere 2 it is the inside point. So surface, what is the formula? Same kq by r. So kq1 by r1 for the surface point of sphere 1 plus inside point, what is the formula? kq2 by inside, what is the formula? r2. This is the formula inside, kq by r. So k, charge of that sphere upon radius of that sphere. So for the second sphere, charge of that sphere upon radius of that sphere. So these are same only. That may be there, it's not a problem. At point C. Now for point C, I mean point C is behaving as the outside point of sphere 1 and surface point of sphere 2. Point C is behaving as the outside point of sphere 1 and surface point of sphere 2. So outside, what is the formula? KQ by small r. Where is small r? The distance of that point from the center. So I am writing it, you just observe it, K Q1 by capital R2 due to sphere 1 plus K Q2 by capital R2. See, due to sphere 1, it is the outside point. So KQ by small r. So any charge is Q1 and small r here is R2 because that's the outside point. So radius will become R2 only. Whereas for the second sphere, it is behaving as a surface point. So KQ2 by R2. Option D, let us see. Option D, R is less than equals to R1. Your R is less than equals to R1 means somewhere here. Less than R1 means somewhere here. So it is acting as the inside point for first sphere as well as the inside point for second sphere. So inside point, what is the formula? KQ by capital R, where capital R is the radius. So I will write let me write VD itself, VD K Q1 by R1 because it is inside of the first sphere. So K Q1 by R1 plus it is inside of the second sphere also. So K Q2 by its radius R2. See, inside formula is KQ by capital R, Q of that sphere and R of that sphere. E. R is greater than R1 but smaller than R2, yani somewhere here. Greater than R1 but smaller than R2, somewhere here. So this point is acting as the outside point for first sphere but inside point for second sphere. So outside, what is the formula? KQ by small r. So KQ1 by small r. Why? Now I am not writing R1 on R2 because it is given to me this distance is small r. See here. Plus it is acting as inside point for second sphere. So inside point, the formula is same only, KQ by capital R. So KQ2 by R2. And F. R is greater than equals to R2. And is somewhere here. It is outside point for both the spheres. So outside, I know the formula is this KQ by small r. So VF KQ1 by R plus KQ2 by R. I hope all the cases are clear to you. You must remember these results because that was your concentric spherical shell. So as far as solid non-conducting is there, see, solid non-conducting, inside you cannot put any sphere. Of course, a solid non-conducting sphere you can put inside a hollow sphere, but inside a solid non-conducting or even conducting, you cannot put anything inside. So obviously these are hollow spheres. So I hope this result is clear to you. Note it down, and I am going to take one more problem on the same concept. Note it down. Okay, so let us take this problem. Here is given that concentric non-conducting spheres are there. So whether for us hollow conducting or hollow non-conducting, story is same. So I mean, we need not worry anything. So this is your, charge distributed on sphere 1 is QA, radius is small a. Charge distributed on sphere 2 is QB and radius is small b. So the question asked here is, the potential difference between two spheres depends on the potential difference between the two spheres. Obviously, we need to calculate the potential on both the spheres and difference of that. That is the potential difference between the two spheres depends on QA, QB, both are none. You may see, whenever I ask these questions, you may pause the videos and try to answer them on your own, and then you can watch for the solution. So let us see here, potential difference. So let me find the potential. So your change in potential, which let me write like this. Sphere 1 minus sphere 2. Sphere 1 I am taking the smaller sphere, sphere 2 I am taking the larger sphere. Here potential on the sphere means potential on its surface. Here when they are writing potential on the sphere, it means what they are meaning is potential on its surface. So what is the potential on the surface of sphere 1 at this point? Now this point, if you see carefully, this is the surface of sphere 1. It means potential on sphere 1. This point is acting as the on the surface point for sphere 1 and inside point for sphere 2. On the surface for sphere 1 and inside point for sphere 2. So I am writing the potential on the surface of sphere 1. So that is KQA by small a, because charge on smaller sphere is qa and its radius is small a, plus k qb by small b. I have written this part alone now. Potential on sphere 1, this is the potential on sphere 1. Why? Because this point, potential on the sphere means on its surface. This point is behaving as the surface point for sphere 1 and inside point for sphere 2. And you know what is the formula for the surface? kq by r, its radius, and inside point also you know kq by r, its radius. So this is the sphere 1. Minus, I need to write the potential due to sphere 2. So this is your sphere 2 and on its surface. Now this point is acting as a outside point for sphere 1 and on the surface point for sphere 2. Outside point for sphere 1 and on the surface point for sphere 2. So outside, what is the formula? K qa by b, k qa by b plus k qb by b. Why I am putting small b here? Formula is kq by small r. So that small r will act as a b for this first sphere. So when we take the difference, obviously this and this gets cancelled, and what we get is k qa common, 1 by a minus 1 by b. This is your delta v. This is the potential difference between the two spheres. Now you can see this potential difference between the two spheres depends on what? qa, qb or both. So obviously it depends only on qa. It depends only on the charge of the inner sphere and it is independent of the charge of the outside sphere. So I hope it is clear to you, and these were your concepts of potential due to spheres. Before this already we have completed potential due to a point charge kq by r, potential due to a ring, potential due to dipole. Today we have seen potential due to charged spheres, and then this case of your conducting, non-conducting, hollow, solid, everything. So that is it in today's session, and we will meet in the next session with few more problems and concepts on concentric spherical shells. So keep on revising, keep on watching the videos, and few tests will be conducted very soon on this concept, which will be available on application Lakshya app. And that's it as far as today's class is concerned. Thank you.